term. That kick by Pavlich, 75-80 metres on the fly. It crossed the goal line on the full. Sandilands knocks it down. Melbourne needs some early scores. Jamar went to ground, and that ball's not coming out.
Thanks, guys.
And it can lead to confusion too for Melbourne when Pavlich goes into the centre bounces like that, because they've got to try and find their man after that. They're not sure if he's going to float forward again and players are forward, or he's going to stay on the ball.
Almost got it that time. Maloney off the ground while being held. Down towards half forward. Wonaeamirri thrown by O'Brien, who tracks it back inside his defensive 50. Looks across the ground, untidy kick. Sandilands did pretty well. Had it got by, it might have been a Melbourne ball. He goes again. Trying to get through is Thornton, tied up by Jamar. Umpire lets them play for a while. And now a bounce. 60 metres out from Melbourne's attacking goal, just inside the centre square. Jamar and Sandilands. Sandilands, good use of the body. Falls to Bruce, though. Around the corner, Wonaeamirri lets it run on inadvertently. He was going to get the bounce, but couldn't. And the ball now taken across the line after a fumble from Robbo, who was not happy.
And once again, Fremantle are playing with an extra player actually on the ball. Melbourne have elected to leave a spare player across half-back.
Jamar and Sandilands. Sandilands wins the tap. Pavlich. Gee.
That was hot.
Wow. That's not a disposal. Here.
So incorrect disposal, the decision.
Thank you.
And Cameron Bruce with a chance to do something that Matthew Pavlich did very successfully in that third quarter, and that's to kick an important goal. So they're up in a good position.
Got it right.
Well, every shot for goal important for Melbourne in this last quarter. An early goal here, and they're still in this match. He's hooked it badly. It's a poor kick. Sandilands almost boundary throw in.
Hasn't been the dominant player today, Sandilands. They've worked him over pretty well, Melbourne. Jamar's been jumping into him, and then they've swapped him and brought wide on, who's run him around the ground.
So Miller actually went against him, and then Maloney, good looking kick, goal. That's the one they needed.
Well, once again, we see the Melbourne players actually roving to the ruck work here of Sandilands. Just watch this. He gets his hand almost to the ball, and that's just too much freedom. I mean, you've got to lock down on players in the forward line like that. Maloney just had so much room there to operate in.
Well, the coach gave him a spray at quarter time about his use of the ball. No debating that last one. I think if we could judge what Dean Bailey was saying, he'd wasted 3 kicks. Well, he just got 6 points. Melbourne get a kick. 26 points the difference. Brock McLean, early going, final term, goes to half forward. Bates got better the longer it's gone. He's provided a target. Davey comes hard. Wonaeamirri is lurking behind the pack, and Robertson is going to the square. Plenty of activity. Robbo will fly. Off hands. Wonaeamirri, get a boot to it, son.
How many times have we said this afternoon that they've kicked the ball too deep when they've gone into their forward line? Here's the free kick. Here's a free kick going in too early there off the centre square. That's where the free kick occurred. Robbo just got there, actually didn't even influence the contest, made a contest, and then they get the crumb and they can kick a goal. But the difference with that kick was that it was at the top of the square. It was about 10 metres at the top of the square.
Austin Wonaeamirri, the 19-year-old, who's been a big hit in a handful of games for the Melbourne. Great reaction.
You've got to love that, don't you?
Sure do.
That is just unbridled joy.
Yep, a lot of passion for footy, eh? 20-point margin, so Melbourne doing just what they needed to do. They've cancelled the Pavlich goals out, and they're backing it. And Dennis, you were spot on about Bate. He has got a lot better as it's gone on. McLean was terrific to Bruce. Morton away, good kick. Well, this is the biggest kick of the match about to happen right now.
How critical have the clearances become in this game since about midway through the third quarter?
And Baton McLean since half-time. I know McLean had a lot of it early. He's had less. I think he had 13 in the first half. He's had 10 in this half, but he's actually had an influence in this half.
Just in this quarter, 6-0 the clearances.
Most
Melbourne's
important kick of the match, Tim, this. He's had a terrific day, Miller. A big day.
I reckon it might be time for Fremantle. That player that they've actually been using at the stoppages is having no impact on this game whatsoever. If Melbourne are going to put a player behind the ball across half-back as that free play, it's probably time for them to shift a player free behind the ball as well, just to slow this game down. They've got to win the momentum back again.
He's been good, Miller, hasn't he?
He's been terrific.
"14 points the margin, the closest they've been since the 21-minute mark of the opening." What about those disposals in this term? Fremantle can't find the footy. Away we go. The rucks push off each other. Sandilands worth a kick down towards half forward. Guess who? Solomon. That's holding it. Well, he worked hard to get there. No one really came to help. Wheatley's got it at centre half back. Proud can send it now. Long to the outer side. Once more pushing up the ground. Bate. He keeps going. So does this youngster. Man running past inside as well. Davey could have given it over the top. Decides to kick it towards the middle. Wrong decision. And getting back, Palmer takes the mark.
He flirted with his skills then, Davey. He should have done the percentage thing. Maloney had run to space. It was just a simple handball over the top. They would have retained possession.
And it was so slow developing. All the forwards knew what was happening. Maloney was going to get it, and they were headed back towards the square. But give credit to Palmer. Worked back hard. Around the outer side, two veterans combined. Bell to Johnson. Inside the forward 50. And a terrific grab taken by Palmer.
You take your kick, Jeff?
Now, this flies in the face of what we saw at the end of the tie. I hate to sort of go on about this, but the umpire has whistled time on. Then he asked the player, can you take your kick? So time is running now. The advantage the umpire has here is he can call him to play on after 30. And Farmer is taking plenty of the 30, lining up. But then again, he needs to, because this, in this game, represents a very important kick. Gets under it. It's out to the right. Big pack. And Melbourne do the right thing. White just pushes it across the line. Bruce, what price the draw?
Shortening by the second, Dennis, not the minute.
I'll never ask you again. You're starting to tire of the question.
I pressed the wrong button, so ask me again later. Gee, they've been inaccurate since that one was rushed, but they've kicked 2 goals, 8 since half-time, the Dockers. Remember last Friday night, they had that big lead at three-quarter time.
Yeah.
Bates becoming an important player in this last quarter too.
Free kick to Miller.
Hand in the back against Michael Johnson.
At the moment, they've got 2 winners across half-forward, Miller and Bate.
Bruce the target and takes the mark. He's a workaholic, Bruce, isn't he? He just gets so much of the ball. Good kick onto White, who runs on now from 60. A high ball. Robbo will be the flyer. Didn't need to fly. Fell into his arms.
Well, it was really smart play there by White. To make the running and find the space, and then it was Sandilands who actually, his direct opponent, had pushed back into the hole there, but he kicked the ball over his head and made him redundant.
Well, Robbo's kicked 1 today. He's had a couple of assists. He's got his second. Unbelievably, Melbourne close.
Well, I don't know about you two, but I'll be disappointed if we don't get a draw on a Sunday afternoon.
We've come to expect it, haven't we?
Gee, we're going to get a close one, I think.
I think
Just
so.
not Sunday afternoon without a draw. They're full of running now, Melbourne.
The difference from last Friday night when...
Just good body work there by Jared Rivers.
It was terrific,
He just shifted the pack, didn't he? Didn't use his arms, didn't use his hands. It was just a bit of a nudge. And Robbo, who reads those so well in the flight. Look at that inside 56-2 in this last quarter.
Hint of a smile, Chris Connolly against his old club. I tell you who is getting nervous, the timekeepers. Put down by White, Solomon, Sandilands. Here come Freo. Sandilands, ill-directed. Garland needed to mark. Created a problem. Farmer kicks a goal.
Hey, look.
But that's just a kid making an error. He had to take the mark. He actually had to put his hands up in the air. And somebody had to call him into that play. They had to give him the confidence to go for that ball. But once again, it was Solomon at the centre bounce here. Won the ball from the tap, and then they just pushed it forward. That ball had to be marked there by Garland. This is the reaction from Jeff Farmer. I think actually Wonaeamirri's got him covered. I don't know about you, Dennis or Bruce, but I still prefer Wonaeamirri's.
Yeah.
And a couple to Farmer today, so both at that end of the ground. So can Melbourne respond? They need the next one. I mean, that's obvious, but the Dockers get an important one back. Bate got it from Maloney, and Bate inside the 50. Oh, takes out beauty.
That was a beautiful kick then by Bate. That was perfectly positioned for Robbo. Here they are winning a ball again from the scrimmage. It was Maloney's quick little handball. This bloke's been better the longer the game's gone.
Well, so's Robbo. I mean, Bate to Robbo in the first half would have been a disaster. Can he kick a third, a second within a couple of minutes? It's coming back. He's got it. They're not going to go away.
Actually, for the first time this afternoon, it's a really good game of football. A really good game of football.
6 goals out of Miller and Robertson now. They're two big forwards, Melbourne.
Well, for the first time since half-time, they've actually had some flow in their play. They've been getting it there with regularity, and they've been getting it there quickly, so they've found some space to operate in the forwards.
He is a remarkable mark when he comes out full tilt. He reminds me of Jason Dunstall. I think he's the best I've seen, just coming flat chat and taking it in one grab. Sandilands has got other ideas though. Thumps it down towards half-foot. Is that in the back? I think so. McManus will get the free. Now Fremantle need to settle here. Make something of this. McManus feeling the effects of being driven into the MCG turf. Kicks for distance. Long ball. Why not? Pavlich is down there. Opted out of the contest. Spills. Pavlich put the body in. Trying to wrestle it away from Bell. And he did successfully, but it doesn't come out. Have a ball up.
Here's McManus been tied up in the tackle. That's the dangerous one where the player has no arm free to actually cushion the fall.
So the Dockers in a challenging position with Sandilands. White did well just to stop him getting a boot to the ball. And Tim, we're thinking about Melbourne maybe having a win. Can you think of the fallout of Fremantle lose this match with the lead they had at 1-5 coming in?
There's a great scone there for McManus too after having his head driven into the ground.
So the stakes are high here. Massive for the Dockers. Bruce to McLean. And then McLean wide, running away from Miller. I think he's pretty happy to see it over the line. So, season on the line for the Dockers here, no question about that. I mean, Paul Hazelby spoke to you and Dennis at half-time. Whack, cheap Barton, that is that's not good. The advantage given to Ibbotson. He didn't get much in the end. He kicked a high left-footed, and Pavlich in the front spot. It was Tarrant at the back who made the first leap. And Pavlich, who's been the star for the Dockers as this game has gone on.
And that was really great play then by Tarrant, because you'd expect that Warnock would have been able to come into that contest and affect a spoil, but he was held by Tarrant.
He hasn't had a disposal since half-time, Tarrant, but that was a good shield.
Warnock's been good on him.
This for a 5th goal. We kicked 5 last week in a losing effort against Geelong. It's got 5. It's been a big performance by the captain, maybe a match-winning performance.
He's a really strong body player, isn't he, Matthew Pavlich? The way he just leant on Carroll as the ball came in there, he got rid of him so easily. And he's the player they've gone to this afternoon when they've got themselves in a little bit of trouble and they've tried to shift the momentum. Here's a kick in here from Robertson. Goes to the top of the square. They've been prepared to do that. And he just leaned on Carroll. He just got rid of him so easily, just by 2 hands on his shoulder, pushed him out of the way. And then Carroll was hoping that Warner came over the top. But it was Tarrant that blocked his path to the ball too.
The interchanges to date, Melbourne have made more than the Dockers, as you can see, and going over the weekend, that could just about lead the way. Collingwood right down yesterday on their interchanges. Matthew Pavlich is best against Melbourne, 6, round 4 last season. There's 5 right now in a virtuoso performance with a poster. Wide of the pack taken by Warnock. Slips it across to Davey. Melbourne with the lights on, attacking Bate to both sides of the ground. He's worked hard. I suppose it's almost to be expected. He makes that sort of fumble. He's a tired man back in the team today. Johnson comes away, goes down towards half forward. Solomon was there. Over the top was Rivers. Mark Johnson. He's at the base of all of that, with assistance coming from Tarrant for the Dockers.
Melbourne player grabbed hold of it.
Here's the explanation. There are the lights. 93 plays 108. Time enough. But the Demons at the present time down the wrong end, and Sandilands sends it deeper into attack. McManus almost. Bell in trouble. Strong tackle by Farmer. Bell wants the boundary.
Gone out of bounds, Jeff. Let him up. Don't go high, Jeff. No, Jeff.
What's the call?
Up we go, up we go. Don't go high, don't
It's
hold.
going to be a bounce. It wasn't out of bounds.
What about that punch in from Sandilands to the free player, McManus, who was running onto it.
And again, Tim, a brilliant bit of work by Sandilands. Johnson unable to. Gets a second crack. McManus over the ball with a couple of Demons, including Bell, and again a ball up.
Just watch this smash here from Sandilands. Just bang. Cleared the stoppage. McManus was running onto it.
Another chance here now. Jamar to try and keep him out of it. He does. Pavlich working hard. They bring him down, the Demons. Maloney there, gang tackle, ball up.
He just wears blokes down, doesn't he, Sandilands? All day they're jumping. They get to the last quarter, they're tired. They just can't jump anymore. He doesn't have to. He just stands there and just swats the ball.
Gets another crack here. Over the top to Pavlich. Oh, clever. Well done to Farmer. And then Farmer hooks back to the goal square. And a behind.
What an advantage it is to know that your ruckman is going to win probably 75% of the taps late in a game like this. I mean, he's giving his players a ground level and armchair right again.
Margin 16 points. Wheatley, normally a long kick. This is no exception. Right up to the wing, loose at the back. A chance for Bate, pursued by Johnson. Bate went to ground. He was a bit lucky. He was on the way down. Johnson clattered into him. Bate gets the free, but gee, we've liked his game.
Well, they've shifted Johnson on him. That's how worried they are about his form in the latest quarter.
Robbo takes off towards the boundary. That will be ignored. Kick comes in towards the middle. Oh, almost. Crowley did brilliantly, then couldn't hang on. And we've got a bounce about 40 metres out from Melbourne's attacking goal.
That's frustration there from Jones. He's had 4 touches this afternoon. Crowley's done a magnificent job on him.
Oh dear. So abuse. Crowley to the outer side. Leaping very high was Bartram. Got it on the ground. McLean couldn't keep it in. And you just got to bite your lip.
It's Jones. Just such a soft free kick to give away. He had 24 disposals against Brisbane last week and kicked 4 goals. So Crowley's done a mighty job on him. Melbourne keeping on, coming on though. McLean to centre half forward. Green, not quite. Robbo, good kick again. He's got another one. He's kicked 3 in the last 4 for the day. There's still a chance.
Well, he's a soloist. He doesn't need Kate Sobrano. He's going okay on his own at the moment. This was great play by Green, though. Oh, actually, I don't know, though. He handballed that. It looked like he might have just flicked it over there to Robbo. But that is non-preferred side, his left foot. He was just able to slide it around the corner. And he's happy with his effort.
He was injured earlier today, too. Remember when we thought he was going to come back?
He does it all the time, Bruce. Just foxing.
So the margin is back to 10 points. The question might be, how did Green get rid of the footy? A little sleight of hand, hard to see for the umpire in there. And Robertson, a wonderful finish. Robertson at one end, Pavlich at the other. A lot to like in the second half of this one. Sandilands stumps it down. Sliding in down there was Maloney. Goes after it again. Got it out to Bruce. Melbourne attack. Once more it's Bate. Awkward bounce though. Johnson the first back. In trouble. Miss Bell. Sandilands has it at close quarters. Gave it to support. Well, eventually Thornton goes back to the man who gave it to him. That's Drum. They're working double time. Gilmore. Sandilands low down. Hand pass of a tired man. Miller breaks a tackle. Wonaeamirri is on. Wonaeamirri's got it. And how about this? Melbourne, Wonaeamirri looked across the ground and saw Morton, no percentage in that, take a shot.
That was sensational play by Melbourne, in particular Miller, just to stay involved in that contest. Fremantle were desperate to get the ball away from there, but Melbourne just kept coming at them, and eventually they coughed it up.
Wonaeamirri, 40 metres out, has kicked a goal. Less than a goal the difference.
He's kicked 3 this afternoon. He's earned his keep. He's been terrific. I love his celebration as well. This Shammer has just come off the ground. They'll rest him up. They'll bring him back on again. They need some fresh legs out there. But this is the ball they just couldn't clear here. And Melbourne kept coming. This bloke's been terrific. He and Bate and then Robertson, who's joined in the party in this last quarter, has given them a lot of life in their forward half. Look at that. The boy from Melbourne.
So for the second week in a row, he kicks 3 goals in a match, but he's done it under the pressure of having a chance of winning. Within 4 points, a remarkable match here at the G. The Dockers led by 51. Melbourne has never come back from such a margin to win a game, ever. No. And here they are within 4 points. And just said earlier, the fallout if the Dockers lose this match today will be heard for a long time out west. And Melbourne right now are probably favourite. They need to get their nose in front, and they might in a minute. Miller's been terrific, and so is McLean, who got it to him. Miller loads up. Where's Robbo?
Morton.
And he's kicked another one, Wonaeamirri. He's got 4. This is a celebration. They're in front. Good as this. Oh, look at that smile.
Well, you're just going to love it. As long as you're not a Fremantle supporter, you're just going to love what you're seeing at the MCG this afternoon. Once they get the ball in the open, this bloke has been outstanding. They haven't been able to chop him off. He's provided the target. Here's the one-on-one contest, and Wonaeamirri just read it so beautifully. And his celebrations are as good as you will see in this game. And they've had nothing to cheer about, these fans, all year. And they are delirious at the moment. Dean needs to work on his happiness probably at the minute, but he knows there's still 7.5 minutes to go.
He's smiling inwardly. He's very happy. That pancreas is vibrating. Then goes wide on Thornton. Bate again. What a game he's played. Slaps it out to McLean. McLean goes to half forward, stretching Maloney. Maloney is 55 metres out. Kicks back in the square. Davey. Oh, gee whiz. Fremantle have got the staggers. Davey will line up from about 2 metres out. Well, what about this? Melbourne in the first half were like one of those nervous African dictators. They always took a different route home. Now they're going long to the square and they're kicking goals.
disposals in this last quarter, 53 to Melbourne, just 24 to Fremantle. They can't get their hands on the ball. They're not winning the clearances. And then once Melbourne get it out in the open, they just look so much faster than Fremantle. Pavlich is going back into the centre bounce. Solomon's in there, they're hard nuts, and Bell, one of their better ball winners.
Well, Davies kicked 3, Wonaeamirri's kicked 4. Robbo's had 3 in this last quarter for 4. They're winning the stoppages. They've got a little cushion here late in this match. Dockers have got to kick at least 2. And remember, the Dockers gave up their biggest lead ever last week at three-quarter time to lose, and they had a bigger one today.
And Bruce, they've got a problem. Even if they win from here, Melbourne now have 2 extra players behind the ball.
So the clock could become important. White's kick out wide. Where's the pace here? It's with O'Brien. To Bell. Well, the transformation's just remarkable. It's hard to believe, actually.
What about that, Tim? 2 men behind the ball. Why now? You're dominating in midfield. Stay with what's got you here.
Exactly, but I mean, Fremantle haven't put any players behind the ball, so they've got 2 extras at this stoppage.
McLean having a rest. He's been so important. McLean, what's he had? 27 disposals today. 13 in the first half, 14. McDonald hacks it forward. And the man of the moment, this 19-year-old Wonaeamirri on to green. It was nearly off. He's on the wrong side, but you know, he's good enough to kick this.
He has a natural fade from left to right, so this will suit his kicking.
This is icing on the cake if he kicks this. This gets him home, you reckon? This almost puts the Dockers away. He kicked the first goal for the Demons today. They were hapless for an hour, the Demons, and right now you reckon he could just about close this off. Not bad. Very good. It's touched. Wow.
Well, that'll be interesting to see again. Ball comes out intended for Sandilands. He was held, and the big guy, the focal point, has to find something now. Lift his flagging teammates. Gilmore goes out wide. Shammer, forward of left half back. Again the short one, this time to the wing. Ibbotson, who started so well. Who would have thought it? Melbourne by 9. They trailed by 50 at half-time. Long down towards half-forward. Rivers came hard.
He's at free play.
It out of bounds.
Dennis, he's that free play that got behind the ball, so he read that beautifully. Stayed into defensive 50, saw the kick going out wide. This is the one that, gee, that looked over the line.
Don't forget you've got to factor in the fat bit, apparently. But even so, Gilmore, controversy, and they're all coming from the same script. Dodgy goal, time problems. Farmer snaps and kicks it behind. This is probably 3 or 4 weeks of footy the AFL would love to forget, despite some great games. 118, 110. Oh, McDonald went looking for Warnock, who fell over. Farmer tracks back, dutifully gets it away. Solomon, who's been terrific, inside the forward 50. Bell was up in front, fell behind McManus. Hard one for Drum. Mundy is through. Mundy is missed. Makes the point he was pushed in the back. May have a case.
What price a draw, Dennis?
Shortening by the minute, Tim.
I didn't ask.
I didn't know my line.
At least Tim knows who I am this week. Here's Morton. Melbourne through Green. Wonaeamirri.
Hasn't he been outstanding in this final quarter? This will be his 15th touch.
Good kick in the end. To Maloney's, they've all lifted, haven't they? Maloney's been one that's lifted.
They all needed to, though.
Well, Dean Bailey signalled him out, well, along with Nathan Carroll at quarter time. Remember that look he gave Maloney? He went 1, 2, 3 bad kicks. Here's Bruce.
It's got to be one-on-one footy now from Fremantle. They've got to just shut them down and try and win the ball back. There's plenty of time.
We talked 30 minutes about decision-making, Tim, for Melbourne under pressure. This is
going to
pressure
test
now.
Yeah, this is really going to test them. But Fremantle have to get right up in their faces and just stop these kicks from sticking. That's too much space to bait.
Bruce to Bate. Talked a lot about Bates' revival after half-time. First match for the year. He's done a terrific job. He's got a loose. He's got McLean on his own. He's going to load it up, though, and go inside the 50. Robbo, one of the targets. Under pressure, Johnson went to ground. Hasn't got it out yet. It'll be a ball up.
Dean Bailey on the edge of something special. He's worried about the clock, and why not? Peter Bell, brilliantly done. Sandilands, that was ambitious. McDonald stepped around Mundy. Here's a chance now for Bruce. Under pressure, snaps, big leap Robbo. Fingertips to it across the line. Makes no difference to Fremantle's plight, really. They're down by 8 points in midfield. Palmer, the run of Bell. Drives it towards the outer side wing. Pavlich has got it. No time to rest now. Back to Bell. The old heads combining. Bell around the outer side. Brilliant kick. Tarrant, I think his first possession of the second half.
Crowley's pushed deep. He's just got to move it on from here.
He's 60 metres out, Chris Tarrant. Clock is down to 2 minutes. That's not the spot for it. The same problem we talked about before. Now Davey ambles away. Settles, comes back to the middle. Frawley, great show of confidence by Davey. Bruce, they've got the extra man out there. McLean, Warnock around the outer side wing.
And it goes long, a percentage kick towards the boundary line. Wonaeamirri and Thornton.
Gee, you expect some more desperation from Fremantle at this desperate stage of the game, though, wouldn't you? They look tired, though. Melbourne have run them ragged in the second part of this half.
So that attendance almost up to 20,000 was a talking point all week. And there's a red and blue wave of excitement here at the moment. Crowley threw it out in the end. Palmer very good early to Drum. Last roll of the dice, you reckon. McManus's kick's a beauty. And who better to give it to? Can he kick number 6? He looked like being the match winner earlier. I don't think it's going to be a goal, but it puts them within 7 points, which is not going to help them right now. That might have been it. How big's this kick in?
He had to take the kick quickly, but he didn't actually line himself up squarely with the goal.
Wheatley drives.
It's a great kick.
Bruce marks. And now 50.
And clock stops.
7 points the difference. Crowley gives up 50. And Bruce now in the ideal spot to waste a little time. McDonald is peeling off. Bell not watching him, walking with his head down. Oh, well, that's no good. That is terrible. By a great player in Peter Bell. Probably thinking about a move back to Geraldton. Here's McDonald. Around the boundary. Bruce, Bell, trying to corral him. Taken high was Green. Bell steals it. Back comes Green. Clever little hand pass. Miller, who's been terrific, throws it out of bounds. Throw in. And the clock, Bruce, is down to 38 seconds. And Melbourne, you would think, have won their first of the season.
Well, this has been remarkable.
Robbo to Bruce. To Dodd. Palmer back to McDonald, their captain for the day. Back to McLean. Dodd to Palmer. Hard running. Still hard running. Over the top. They're 7 points behind though. Gilmore's kick. Tarrant. Big mark. Not quite. Wait for the siren. Bad handball. Farmer hacks it. Well, there's a goal the difference. With time about to win it for the D's. It's the second biggest comeback ever since half-time by any team, and they've done it. An extraordinary day at the G. effort. They refuse to give in. Let's go down and join Ricky.
I agree with Robbo, mate. We're just over the moon. Oh, my God. I've almost forgotten what that felt like. That is why you play football right there. To win, you know, it's all about winning. It's been a long and hard road. I'm just so proud of the way the boys, you know, under the pump at half-time, and it could have gone the way it's gone every week, but it's a bit of pride in this, I think, at last, and hopefully we can roll on from here.
What was the change, mate? At half-time, you're looking down the barrel again. What turned it all around?
I think just some guys stood up in the middle of the ground and said, put their hand up, and they said, righto, so I'm going to start it, and I'm going to get it down to you guys, and the backs started to play really well because they were inspired by the mids. It's all about inspiring each other, and we haven't been able to inspire each other yet. We've been sort of a bit too careful, too cautious, playing within ourselves. I think led by an inspired Austin Wonaeamirri, what an absolute superstar he's going to be. I love him.
It's good to hear the Melbourne fans cheering once again.
That's what it's all about, mate.
All right, get back to your teammates, mate. Well done.
Lots of emotion here. They were a corpse at half-time. Now they're dancing in the spotlight. The D's.